Hey, it's prime. We're 3 balls in, then we 3 balls out. We all up on your screens like it's prime time's route. Mighty gets a score, and and PJ start to scout. Your rhyme's really trash. What do you think he's damn fouls? TBI the show, so buckle down, sit back. And Jay we trust, cause he's the leader of the pack. It's prime, Jupiter.
This is TBI 3 balls in. I'm your host, PJs, alongside Logan and Devo. We're back at it again, the three-headed monster. A quarter of the season already flying by, and here we are. Week number 5 in the books. It featured a different type of game, an 8-on-8. Some different quarterbacks this week. Boys, we're in it together. Let's talk about it. TBI, what's up, boys?
How we doing? I was going to let Devo jump in, but it seems like he's just jumped out. How we doing? Dude, PJs, you're back. You're playing. Like the good old days. Devo, you're still not great with video and audio. It's like the good old days.
Listen, I'm here, but I'm only playing defense today. Apparently, that's how it works. Sometimes I've forgotten, even though I signed up, and I'm only playing defense. But I'm here. I'm good. I got my drinks with me. I need a refill. We'll work on that in a couple minutes. And let's get into this. Let's go.
Let's talk about game number 1 featuring Fight versus Rabin. And I just want to take a step back for a second. Rabin, yes, did not have the greatest game. And I know he only threw 1 touchdown. He threw an interception. I know he didn't really move the ball as well as you would have liked. And he threw up some, I don't know. He threw up some balls that looked like they were helicopters. It didn't look good at times. And then there were times where he threw great balls that got dropped. Here's the thing about Rabin. And I'm going to say this right now. There are very few people I would get on TBI and say, I don't care if they threw 10 interceptions in a game. I would go line up with them another time. I would go up and line up with them every time. And I know you're going to say, oh, well, we want better quarterback play and dark ages. We're past that point. I don't know. Call me nostalgic. But I'm going to give you 2 little anecdotes. My first interaction with Rabin, probably about 15 years ago. Maybe 14, 15 years ago. We played. I don't think we necessarily played a lot. There was, 2 games back then. And then we only got to 1 game. And I remember it was a Jadwin, probably circa 2009. And Rabin and I, Rabin's guarding me, and I catch a ball down the sideline, and he pulls my sweatshirt and horse collars me. And he does it then a second time. And then, I kind of get in his face about it. And then we're both on line against each other. And I kind of tackle him out of retribution. Rabin and I we weren't close in the beginning. But over time, Rabin and I became, even when I left Jubal, Rabin would be like, dude, you got to come back. We always kept in touch. We always were cordial with one another. But I'm going to share with you another story. 4 or 5 years ago, I come back to
Was it as good as the first story?
I come back to Jubal after a long absence. And I start playing a few games, and then I go help someone move some furniture, and I cut open my hand. And then I was out for like a month or two. I almost lost my thumb. And I come back, the first game back, Rabin's like, dude, if you're open, I'm getting you the ball. And I'm like, all right, Rabin, whatever. Throws me the ball, and what do? Drop every single ball he throws to me. Wide open the end zone. I dropped it every single time. It was a mental thing, whatever it was. You know what Rabin said to me after the game? He says, dude, get over it. I'm going to throw the ball to you again. Don't worry about it. I know you're going to catch it next time. I don't know what to tell you guys. Rabin has an interesting, reputation in Jubal. Some people love him. Some people can't stand him. I'm not one of those people. I love him. I would honestly go play with him tomorrow. If he said, PJs, I'm playing quarterback, I'll play line for him. I'll do whatever I can for him. I respect Rabin. And I think from some of our rookies who are watching this, maybe you saw yesterday's game, you're like, oh, that guy, he's old, he can't play quarterback. You know what? If Tom Brady called up Randy Moss, I'm sure Randy Moss would go out and play football with Tom Brady right now. And I bet you a rookie receiver or a young receiver in the NFL, like let's say Jamar Chase, if Tom Brady said, come play football with me, he would. Tom Brady doesn't have the same fastball he used to have. And again, I know you're going to kill me for comparing Rabin to Tom Brady, but there was a long decade of Jubal where Rabin was the best we had. And Rabin either had great weeks or he had bad weeks. So I digress from yesterday's game. We had an 8-on-8 to battle the line. which really wasn't the battle of the line. It was really the battle of Zin versus Mighty, which we kind of saw in the recap, right? Zin versus Mighty was the billing of the show. I made my debut. Moore came back. Tom looks like he's back from his injury. He was moving really well yesterday. As Solo is just on a different level right now. I mean, Solo doesn't even have to rush the passer to be dominant in the game. You know, he's just orchestrating the defense. This guy, you know, Yaron talked him up a few years ago. We kind of gave the side eye, like, all right, let's see it. You know, Solo's on a different planet right now, where he doesn't even have to, you know, blitz the quarterback to make an impact on defense. So that's an interesting thing. But what yesterday's game came down to was, let's maybe slow down the whole future of Jubal type of thing, and let's appreciate the present, because Mighty was mighty at his best yesterday. And when the game came down to it, Zin on Mighty one-on-one, and Mighty beat him every time when it was needed, getting touchdowns. And I know Zin made a lot of good defensive plays. He had to pick himself. There were plays that Fight couldn't throw the ball to Mighty because Zin was on him. But the bottom line is, when Fight on fourth down needed to get the ball in the end zone, Zin couldn't stop it, and Mighty was there. So that's really what it comes down to. Yesterday's game came down to Mighty just doing enough. Listen, I was very praiseworthy of Rabin. There was one critique of Rabin. It's fourth down at the 10-yard line, a chance to tie the game. You know, Munch had this unbelievable catch where it's a helicopter in the air. Mighty's right there. Mighty's about to pick it. Munch grabs it from Mighty, somehow comes down with the ball. There's another defender behind him. Gets past both of them, runs it for a touchdown for 80 yards. And here you have Zin on one side, Munch on the other side, and Rabin throws it towards Munch, overthrows him out of bounds. I looked at Rabin and I said, you have Zin open on that side of the end zone. Just throw it up to him. The beauty of Zin is you could throw it 5-6 feet above his head. The guy will somehow come down with it. You know, I think that's where, like, someone like Rabin, just make that throw. Like, be confident in the receiver you have and just throw it to him. Don't go for, like, I'm going to hit Munch because Munch is open. You know, you're not that type of quarterback anymore where you could hit that type of receiver. Throw it up to the guy who can make that crazy catch, because that's what you need to do, like an Odell Beckham type catch. So that would be my only critique yesterday of Rabin. But besides that, I mean, listen, it wasn't a high-scoring game, 3-1, but it was definitely not a bad game. And I know we were looking at it like not a regular quarterbacks. I mean, Fight was in the game. Fight wasn't that great yesterday, although I don't think he was terrible. He just wasn't that great. 8-8, by the way, I don't think it's such a terrible thing. It's such a bad thing. I actually, I think at times it worked. The way we rotated in our team was 3-3. You know, we let Zin be receiver the whole time, and then 3 of us were line, 3 of us were receiver. So, we kind of switched off each set. That works. The other team, they basically had everyone on line, the same line the whole game. That worked for them. But yesterday's first game was fun, and it was just great to be back. My last moment in Jubal, I don't want to make this show about me, guys, but I thought I was done. I legit thought last year I was done. I legit thought, especially I knew I was having twins. I thought there's no way I'm ever getting back on the field. And just being back on there. And I definitely got a taste of my own medicine. Tom got a nice touchdown on me. You learn really quickly what it is to be in good shape and what it is to appreciate, the game. And it started coming back to me. But just being on the field yesterday, being back in the game, I had a great time. It was great to be there. And we're moving in the right direction here. All the talent around us. I loved it. It was great to be back. All right. Anyways, I've gone on and on. Dave, let's talk about game 2.
Oh, damn. That was about as long as Perla's huddle right there. No, listen, game 2 was an interesting game because you have one side a budding quarterback in Perla, where we're not exactly sure, if he's not the 15th quarterback yet. But if you look on the paper, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. I think he's growing. I think there's a growing perception that he's learning the guys, and he's learning how to play. While on the other side we had Waldo, who had one good game as QB, and on this game he had the exact opposite of Perlo with 1 touchdown and 5 interceptions. It was a very interesting game to be a part of, even if only just for half of it, or what felt like actually about like 6 minutes of play, because it was literally, I think they had 3 drives of less than 3 plays. Shout out to Salem for probably the play of the game. And I'm going to go through it with you guys. We'll do a little breakdown. I know we don't have the video, but Rook makes a great play. It looks like he's going to have a pick six. Somehow we stop him at the 2-yard line. The next play, here we go. We're in our goal line defense. And Salem comes away with a block, with a batted ball into a pick. Probably the most athletic play I've ever seen Salem ever make. Beauty. And I think that really changed the game. Yeah, I think at that point it was 2-1. We go down the field and we score, and we score again, we score again, we score again. Yeah, I think that's it.
Davo, do you know that you just told us you were going to break down a play, and I still don't know what happened in this play.
Logan,
Okay,
I think Logan, I think,
basically
I
what
think it's
happened is-
time we had. I think it's time we ask the question, Davo. Are you drunk or high right now? Because we're all trying to figure it out.
The answer is that
I think he's high because he's drinking out of an empty glass.
I know, right? Or he's so
Listen.
drunk he thinks his glass is still full.
Listen, I'm in the middle of a celebration right here. I snuck out to my car in the middle of Williamsburg. I stole a cup of wine with me. I'm sitting in the car, because that's the sacrifices that we make for TBI. We're here. We have a great show planned. We have a couple amazing guests coming up soon that we can't wait to have on. And listen, game 2 was great for all intents and purposes. I think fun was had out there. It was a little intense. People's patience were tested. There's a lot of yelling going on. But all in all, another week of Jew Ball in the books, and we're getting ready for game 6. Logan, what do you got for us?
Logan, you got
yeah.
a hot take. Logan, you got a hot take for us, right?
Yeah, I got a little bit of a hot take. I got a little commentary on our quarterbacks, and I think that this week that we just had is probably a really good week where we should just pinpoint it. As someone who's organized games before, you know that these games live and die by a quarterback. You could have 40 guys who want to play, but if you don't have 2 quarterbacks, even worse is if you have 1 quarterback. But if you don't have 2 quarterbacks, you're not going to get a game, right? It doesn't matter. And eventually people stop leaving because you're not going to go there just for someone to throw a duck out there and not play. So you really live and die by the quarterbacks. I think we're seeing now, we were almost at a point where we were spoiled. Last year we had Gronk and we had Yaron, obviously. We had Prey. We had so many good quarterbacks, and we didn't stop and appreciate that, because right now, what do we have now? Prey is injured. We had Yaron went away. Dax couldn't play this past week. And this is not a knock on Waldo. This is not even a knock on Rabin at all. Not a knock on Ernie, but it's obvious when guys can play quarterback, and it's obvious when guys can't. And it's not a knock on anyone, but it's rather we should be showing our appreciation for the guys who can. And instead of going back into a huddle being I was breaking open, you missed me. Let's understand, these guys are good quarterbacks, and even if they miss you that play, they're going to get back to get you the ball, right? You get open, they're going to get you the ball, and we should appreciate what we have, because quite frankly, it's a lot harder to replace a quarterback than it is to replace anyone else on this show. So, maybe just a little shout out to the quarterbacks, little love. Rabin's included in that. I'd consider him one of our quarterbacks. Any of the guys who play.
Ironically enough, you left out your quarterback fight. I just find that ironic.
Well, that goes without saying.
Future champion fight, by the way.
That's right. But I'm just saying, these guys, they take a lot of shit from us in the huddles, and we really should appreciate it, because, quite frankly, when it doesn't work out, we see it, and it's not easy to do what they do. And for the most part, they hang with each other, right? For the most part, they keep it competitive. And, when it's not competitive, it's pretty obvious. And usually it falls on someone's shoulders. So, we don't say thank you enough. We're very quick to criticize, but we don't say thank you enough. So a big shout out and a big thank you to the quarterbacks.
Yeah, there's no debating that. we definitely saw it this past week. Good quarterback play makes a big difference. All right. We've got a special guest coming to TBI for the very first time. This guest is going to be here, and I'm excited to introduce him. It is Johnny Storm. Welcome.
How's it going, guys? Sorry
What's
about
going
that.
on, brother? Oh,
Good.
look at that.
Yo, dude, introduce us. Who's that dog over there?
Oh, that's Scrappy Doo.
Scrappy Doo.
Welcome,
He even got
Scrappy.
he even got his little bobblehead over here.
Nice. There we go.
That's awesome.
All right, Johnny Storm, we got to clear some things up. Davo had some criticisms of you by the draft. So let's just clear this up. Davo wants to clear everything up right now. Davo, what were you saying about Storm?
Johnny, you know you're my boy. In and out. Everyone thought that I was a little harsh on you pre-draft, saying that this guy needs to step it up. But it obviously was all coming from love. And because I know you're such a great player and you do such great things on the field, we love you. And I'm so happy to see you this season stepping it up. What mindset do you have in the beginning of this season that you had in the beginning of last season that's allowing your play on the field to talk for you instead of, having to trash talk and fight everyone saying that you deserve this or you deserve that?
Well, at the end of the day, I let my play do the talking. Like I shouldn't have to talk shit at the end of the day. Excuse my French. I know we're on an interview here. But
Good show.
But at the end of the day, like I got something to prove, and every day that I show up, I show out, and I want to show that I can do this, like regardless of what anybody says about me, and like my experience says for itself. So,
Storm, I think you experienced something that a lot of people experienced this year. You're sitting there almost like the Aaron Rodgers effect. I'm sorry to bring that up. I know you're a Packers fan, but as you remember, 17 years ago or 16 years ago, I guess at this point, Aaron Rodgers is sitting, in the, what do they call it, the blue room, where he's waiting around and he's waiting for his name to be called, and he's expected to be a top 5 pick, and he's waiting. I think he's the 22nd or 23rd pick overall by the Packers. And he's just waiting. I think he even walks out of the room at one point out of frustration. Talk about it. Here you are, you're sitting there. Last year, you're picked in the 3rd round by Fight. This year, you're picked much later in the draft. What's that feeling like when you're standing around, waiting around to hear your name?
At that moment, I was hurt, but I could understand why. I wasn't utilized as much as I wanted to be when I was with Fight. And, I'm not going to diss Fight. Fight is a great quarterback when he's on his A game, But, there were times that, there was like, he wasn't really listening, and, players were like, kind of like turning their backs on him. And I was the one that like at least tried to keep everybody together and keep everybody as a unit, because we needed to finish the season out somehow. At the end of the day, we're a team. We're not gonna, we're not gonna lose for no reason. We're gonna lose as a unit. So.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense, man. Look, when PJ first said, "Look, there's a dog over there," I didn't even think he was talking about Scrappy to you. I thought he was talking about you, because you got that dog in you, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like you let everyone. I love that you say that you let your game talk for you, because that's exactly what you've done this season. You know what I mean? Last Sunday you had 2 picks. You got a handful of touchdowns the week before. Like, you're a freaking dog, man, and I love that.
And it's not going to stop from there. I promise you that.
I love that.
I'm gonna keep myself healthy and keep myself in shape, and I'm gonna keep fighting.
I got to ask this question, Storm. So I guess Perla, White Goodman, brand new to Jubal. Logan had some not I think fair critiques about huddling and some other things. You were playing with him yesterday. The guy put up 5 touchdowns. I think when I saw the beginning of the game, he was hitting you like every single play. Obviously, he didn't get you in the end zone, but what's it like in the huddle with him? Because we got to know, do we have a 5th quarterback here?
Well, he is very organized with his plays. I could give him that. Absolutely. And, there were times where, you gotta like call for the ball, like beyond, like get his attention to throw you the ball, because there would be times that on a blitz, he'll like try to get out of it, but he won't get as much protection. So like even if you're a tight end or like you're just like a receiver staying back, call for the ball, because there's a chance he's going to hit you, and he does. So it's all about communication.
Yeah, and look, like that's something that we saw, right? Like the expectation would be that every week that he plays with Jubal, he should be getting better, right? Like, because every week he played, like, you know what I mean? He's starting to get to know Storm. He's starting to get to know Zada. Like every week that he gets to play should be improvement. And as long as he's not taking steps back, that's all we can really ask for, right?
Absolutely. Last week, he didn't have such a great game. Nobody was really communicating with him, and he was just staring at players. Like there was times that Irv was wide open. I could tell you 5 to 6 times Irv was just flying by with the open lane, and he just stared at him the whole entire time, and then threw it to a double coverage play, and it would happen to be that Prime was there or Mighty was there catching a pick or scoring on a pick. And Logan, you too. I remember you caught a pick on him. So, there's for him to have somebody to throw to, there's got to be communication involved with him, especially, since that he's new. So calling for the ball will make it a lot easier for him, in my opinion.
No, that makes perfect sense, man. Before we have you go, what are your predictions for Lionhearts this year?
We're taking it one day at a time, man. I'm not gonna, I'm not no, genie over here or whatever you call it. I'm not a fortune teller. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You should get.
By
Yeah.
the way, you may not be a genie, but I will gladly rub your bottle.
But listen, I have a lot of faith in your own. We have our little plays going together. We have our own little playbook. We have our route tree. We're pretty much prepped just to show out for the next game, and we're not afraid. That's all we want to show to everybody, and we're here to kill it the next time we play the next team, and we're here to stay. That's all I gotta say.
Well, here's the bottom line. There's no doubting Storm anymore. Johnny Storm is here to stay. Johnny Storm is dominating Jubal, and we're looking forward to you not only just moving up in the power rankings, we're looking forward to you moving up and getting more Jubals. Hopefully, you can start making a case for yourself to be in the MVP conversation, because I think you're having that type of season right now.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. But I'm a team player first. I'm not worried about MVP. So, whatever the team needs me to do, I'm there for them first. But if the MVP does come my way, I would gladly accept it. I appreciate everybody that has my back throughout the time I've played here.
By the way, Johnny Storm might be one of the best downfield blocking wide receivers we have in this game.
That's my favorite. It's my favorite thing to do. I swear, I like it.
All right, Storm, stay healthy, stay good. Continue to have yourself a great season, and thank you for joining us. First time on TBI.
No, thank you so much, and shout out to my X Factor boys, Rook, Prime, Sting, and my boy Beast. I love them all. Love you guys. Thank you for having me so much. Much love and respect.
All right, love you, brother.
Peace,
love
brother.
you too, man.
Wow, Storm was awesome, guys.
Oh yeah, and Scrappy.
Yep.
Not just Storm, but the dog.
Right. Well, we got a new segment in TBI, and we're gonna let the man who runs the segment introduce it. Thank you, Big E.
Oh, hello there. I'm E, and this is Biggie's Hug of the Week. This week's hug goes out to Ernie, who was the victim of the drops. You lost this week, Ernie, and you deserve a hug. So from me, Big E, I'm sending you a big hug. Have a good one, Ernie.
Wow, Ernie, hug of the week. That was pretty cool.
Are we allowed to hug?
Listen, I was there for that huddle. Everyone's like, let Ernie play. And Rook's like, get the fuck out of here. Or my friend, sorry, kid show. He's like, no, I got this. And Ernie just took it. He said, he's like, he wants to play QB, let him play QB. He deserves it.
That's
Was the
great.
drop that bad? Was the drop that bad though? Oh,
Oh.
as bad as MKs and DKs.
Hey, listen. Talking about drops in MK, apparently he got drafted in the 5th round. Why am I not better?
All right. Well,
Oh my God.
well, here we are bringing in our next guest into TBI. Logan, be careful. Here comes the man, the beast. Here we are. We've got Beast in TBI. Beast, dude, it's an honor to have you. Thank you so much for joining us.
No, I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Dude, let's talk about it. You're kind of a vet now in Jubal. This being your 4th season. Talk to us about this season. What do you notice the differences in Jubal?
Yeah, the rookies are making a crazy impact. I mean, I've never seen a player like Zin ever come in and just take over the way that he has. That's actually extremely impressive for a kid who's like 19, 20 years old. And just being able to just take over a game by himself. Pretty much, he can do everything. Aside from that, you got a guy like Open and DK that can block the shit out of anybody, bro. Those guys are gonna be top Jubalers for the next 5 to 10 years if they choose to. The only thing I would love is for Zin to actually add up a little bit of weight, like a good 10, 12 pounds in that kid, bro. He's a monster. He's a monster, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna get taller. His growth.
He's so young. He's still growing.
Yeah, bro, that motherfucker's still growing. He probably grow like Antetokounmpo, bro. My man could be like fucking 7'7" if he wanted to. Shit, But aside from that, I just see these rookies being very impactful, and just you just got to be aware of them.
He's talking about
Yeah.
monsters. Here you come in with this monster game, 3 sacks on Sunday, in a game with just linemen, Zin and Mighty. Here you come with three sacks, untouched, being the big mother that you are. How do you feel getting back into it, man, and really coming back into, I know you've been banged up the last season and a half. Now you're coming back into it. Now you're getting in. Now you're going to show everyone who you are. How's the mindset coming into this season? How's the body feeling? How's the mind feeling?
To be completely honest, I was very down on myself, just because I heard a lot of people talk a lot of shit about me when I was injured, and to hear the kind of shit that I heard on the sidelines, I'm not gonna lie, it like lit something inside of me that pretty much no one's gonna get away with any shit with me like this entire season. Like the last 3 seasons, I toned it down a lot. The first season I came with fucking the craziest fire anyone's ever seen. And then people told me to fucking tone it down, and that's what I had to do. For the last 3 years, I toned it down, and now finally I feel like I could be myself. I had to switch it up. I knew something had to change because I just didn't want to be the same old player that I used to be,
I'd argue, maybe I'm wrong, but I like the fiery beast, like a beast who comes into a game with 8 players on a team, right? So 8 on 8, a lot of linemen, and just rips through everyone and comes away with 3 sacks. Like that's the beast that I think everyone wants to see. The beast that came back, like the ultimate warrior beast. That's the beast that everyone wants to play in this game. That's what everyone's looking for.
Bro, like I said, man, I had to just tone it down for the last couple of years, and this year I just a different light just sparked up inside me, and I'm just gonna be nonstop aggressive. And I apologize if I hurt people along the way, but I'm telling y'all right now, you can bleep this out. I don't give a fuck. That's the kind of attitude I'm going towards every single game, and I'm just gonna give it 1,000% every single time.
All right, there's one thing you toned down though that has upset a lot of people. That is in the chat on your own, because for some reason the last couple of years, because you're now playing on the Lionhearts, you've gone soft on your own. And I got to be honest with you, I've been trying to pick up some of the slack you left, but we kind of miss the Beast Your Own rivalry.
Yeah, I love Your Own. I've played with that man since 2005, 2006. I know what he can do. So, you know, the last couple of years since he joined Jubal, you know, he completely switched up his game. He was a lot more aggressive. Now he's just trying to throw these fucking finesse balls that really shouldn't be. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of love hate just because, you know, he makes me play line, and I can pretty much do everything. I saved his ass for the longest time, but you know, it's time I tone it down. You know, I helped him put the team together, and you know, I just have a lot of respect for him, and I just want him to have that winning mentality. You know, I just want to have his back through thick and thin. I don't want to just like, I know I could crumble him. I know I could take a lot of shit, you know, but this year, you know, it's a lot more different. I have his back, and you know, I'm gonna try not to talk so much shit. But this is the year we're winning the chip, bro. I feel it. I'm calling it right now.
All right. Listen, I want to bring something up though. A little controversial here. It is TBI. We try to get a little controversial.
Uh-huh.
I feel like there was a little fire on you on Sunday going against Rabin. Talk to some people. Your first interaction with Rabin and Jubal many years ago. So a lot of rooks don't know the story. Talk us through that story. Your first interaction with Rabin.
The first interaction I had with Ruben, I was playing defensive end. I was on the right hand side, and I think it was like the second or third play. By the way, everyone was clowning on me, including Coot, telling me that, oh, why is this guy even coming to Jubal? He's late. He's gonna be late. He shouldn't even be playing. Whatever. So I took that a little personal. I was like, yo, these guys don't know me. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna show them something. So it was like the second or third fucking play, and I just came in. Like I was untouched. And I was always taught to just go for the quarterback, you know, and I accidentally tackled the living crap out of him. And the dude was on the ground.
Beast, I love how you said that accidentally. Like that's like I accidentally hit him with a sledgehammer. Like
Well, I mean, you know, I was coming in at full speed, and you know, like I'm not just. It was a complete accident, but
right. You didn't mean to hurt him, but like you were going full speed. That's what you do.
Speed, and he just stood there. He literally just stood there. Just like on Sunday, he was like, and he stood there, and I just hit him. You know, and then he just gets up, and then he goes, I'm not poor. You can't tackle me. And I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up. And then he took it from there, bro. And then I think it was like the next game or like the second week, my man like came with a MAGA hat, put it on, and stared me down like he was going to beat me up. I just looked at him and I was like, all right, it is what it is, bro. Do what you got to do.
But you know the nice part is now everyone's good, everyone gets along, and that's the most important thing, you know, that everyone, you know, there's a certain camaraderie you have with people in Jubal, and sometimes it could start controversial, it could start, you know, with animosity, and then in the end, you know, everyone here is we're family, we're a crew here.
You know what, man? Over the last couple of years, I actually like learned to respect Rabin, you know, just because whenever you think Rabin is completely out, it's like my man is just like holding and clinging on for dear life. And he just has these incredible games, and like he just doesn't quit. I love that about someone that doesn't quit. So more power to him, bro. You know?
Listen, Beast, let me ask you. I know it's the Beast interview, but you're this guy's biggest cheerleader. Yaron came with a whole bunch of guys from 193.
Yep.
Solo, you, Storm, Prime, and he brought over Sting, and we've all been down on Sting. He was hurt,
Bro.
What
catch.
do you
Sting is
what do
now
you mean
healthy.
we've all been down on
What are
Sting?
you-
Who
We're
has been
all-
down on
You guys been
Sting?
hurt. What have you been down on
Bro,
him? We
I
just,
tell you-
Listen, I'm asking the question. Shut up and let me ask it. Right?
it's a
That
bad
has been down on Sting. You know, he came into Jubal, he was hurt. He couldn't catch. You know, he had a couple good games, but a lot of like guys were. Now he's really showing out. Tell us about Sting. Is this the thing that you know? Is this the thing that we should be prepared to see?
Dude, so when Sting was at full capacity, he's by far a number one receiver. The catches that you see invaders in fucking make, dude. Sting used to make that on the regular, bro. Like my man would be able to catch that with like the tip of his fingers. Yo, he made the most incredible plays, but unfortunately he was always injured. There was something wrong with his ankle or his knee or his torn labrum or his elbow, whatever it was. You know, it always held him back. And it was really sad to see him last year, struggle through so many injuries. And then, this year, my man fucking came like a bat out of hell. That's the fucking sting that I've always seen because my man could literally, he's a game changer. You cannot sleep on someone like Sting, just like you can't sleep on someone like fucking Storm. You can't sleep on anyone. You can't sleep on fucking Solo. You can't sleep on Prime. You can't even fucking sleep on my man Rook. Look what Rook's done in the last couple. I consider that dude 193. He's as tough as fucking nails, bro. Like
Oh.
that guy gets trucked. He gets punched in the fucking face, but boom, he keeps on going. He keeps on going, making incredible catches, incredible runs. It's like, bro, we're taking over, bro. X factors, bro.
That's high praise, by the way. Calling someone an honorary 193, that's high
Oh
praise.
my god, yeah, bro. Like, yo, I would go to war with that man. I'll tell you this much, bro. I give that man all the credit for actually sparking that fire in me. Last season, when I played quarterback and everyone was shitting on me, where I literally I was really thinking about quitting Drew Ball because I wasn't being myself. I just wasn't having any fun. And then one day, fucking me and Rook, it was after our game, I forget when, and he was just like, "Yo, Beast, let's fucking work on running some routes, catching the ball." And then boom, from there, I was like, "Yo, my man, like, I got your back. Do thick and thin. I don't care who it is. I got your back." Because, dude, I'm loyal. I'm loyal to the end. Just like you, I have this Jets tattoo. To me, this means loyalty. So, any team that I'm on, I'm there till the end, bro.
You know what? Rook may have just earned the.
Bro,
Right here and there. He may have just earned
Getting
the Rook.
Getting the high praise from Beast is a big deal. Beast, buddy, this was
Yes,
an
sir.
honor. Thank you so much for joining us. We got to do this
I
again
appreciate
soon.
you guys taking your time out of your busy schedule to put someone in like me, bro. I was actually about to fall asleep because I played soccer for about 2.5 hours.
Well, we know you got the motor for it, and we know you're working on that.
I could keep on fucking playing right now, but I actually gotta calm down because I gotta wake up at 4:30 in the morning for work.
Jeez. Peace, brother.
Always
Peace.
a pleasure.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
sir. No, I
Stay
appreciate
healthy,
you guys.
man.
Thank you for the time, guys. I hope you
I
have a
love
good
you,
night.
brother.
BC
Love to
Sunday,
you
man.
guys. Yo, shout out to my X Factors. Yo, we taking over. Forza for MVP, baby. Yeah.
The Beast.
Wow. Beast. He really brought it. That was a great interview.
Another solid interview. Lionheart's really stepping up this week for TBI.
By the way, I'm just throwing it out there. That might have been a top 5 TBI interview right there. I mean, really, Beast. The Beast Rabin thing was hilarious.
Beast is always a good time.
Beast is always a good time. I agree with that. So is Storm. But like these are two guys who are killers. Like these, you know what I mean? Like you talk about guys who have like that extra gear. You talk about guys who, when the team is winning and they, you're up by 1, some guys get a little nervous. These guys who know how to put it into the next gear and really step down on the throat. These are killers. These are guys who play to win. Lionhearts are stacked. I mean, every team is stacked, but these are guys who play to win. These are, 2 of the top guys on that team, and that's why Lionhearts are 1-0.
For sure. All right, boys. I want to bring something up. Speaking of leagues, it's interesting. Davo, I went to visit. All 3 of us were at the Tuesday night game, and I'm observing something there that I thought was interesting. I noticed certain players only played offense, and certain players only played defense. Here's my question to you. Now, this is a little bit of Monday morning quarterback here. Do you think let's say hypothetically we cannot find more quarterbacks for next year, and we're forced to do another 40 to 50 man, draft of 4 teams, should we go to official offense and official defense for league games? Now, I know the automatic argument is going to be, well, not every team is going to have all their guys show up. Maybe some guys will play both. Yeah, I know. With all that considering, right? With all that considered, you could have certain players who play offense and defense, but you have to, especially if there's injuries, but you have to almost before the game make certain guys official offense and make guys official defense. Thoughts on that?
So it's a very simple answer, and the answer is no. It's a stupid thing. Every team should just be able
He's
to.
not on the fence.
No, it's because it's asinine. No offense. Also, this year, also. Every
I
team
don't
should-
think I don't think asinine means what you think it means.
face of four, but an asinine. No, basically, it's stupid because every team, even this year, should be able to bring as many guys as they want. If it's their team, if they want to bring everybody down to play, then they can bring everybody down to play. The guys just have to understand that they may play one set, two set, they may play only defense, they may play only offense. That is for the captain to dictate. So if next year we go into the same problem, again, also, you should be able to bring as many guys as you want. Listen, you might have a guy that you just want to play offense. You might have a guy you just want to play defense. You might have a guy that you just wanted to play defense, but now maybe let's bring him on offense a little bit. Maybe he can do something, or vice versa. There's no reason in my mind, other than no one wants to deal with conflict, that you shouldn't be able to bring who you want when you want and play them where you want.
Logan, going back to my original question, although Dave did bring up an interesting point, going back to the original question though, if for some reason next year you're in a predicament, or even you have 5 teams, we're in that predicament, it doesn't make sense to have certain guys official offense, official defense. This way, you're almost forced. I don't should say forced, but this way you're almost making sure everyone is in the game.
So I understand what you're saying, and I think it's super interesting. I think it might make for like a compelling draft if, for example, every player had to declare whether they were going to be offense only or defense only. It makes like a very, very compelling and even more strategic draft for the quarterback. So from that perspective, I totally like, it's interesting and it's fun, but I think you really can't compare the two. Like Tuesday night's a pay to play league, right? So I'm not going to pay and then not be able to play, right? I don't disagree with Davo, aka I agree with Davo that each team in league should be able to bring whoever they want. We're all adults. You know, if I don't play, if I show up and I don't play, then like I can't be upset. I don't get to play. It's a right, right? It's a right to play. If the coach can put me in, so be it. But I still think it, like, practically speaking, it's too tough to like have, unless you're going to have like 12 or 13 guys on a team. In that instance, you probably could like start differentiating between offense and defense, but I don't think we're there. But it's interesting. It's fun to talk about. It's fun to think about. But I think practically speaking, it's not realistic. And again, comparing a pay to play versus a free league is tough.
I definitely hear your point. Listen, this is obviously not, I think, even the realm of possibility, but I think we have to be prepared because, we weren't prepared for this year, and it was clear we weren't prepared for this year. So I think we have to get creative for next year, because I think to have guys not play at all is ridiculous. I think also bringing on guys. Listen, I'll be honest with you. Bob played really well against Top Guns that first game. I wouldn't sub out a single one of those guys who were playing. I wouldn't sub them out. They're playing so well. So I don't necessarily know if I agree with you guys in the sense of bring everybody down, because, I was there. Guys could have came down, but some people are not going to sit around and wait around if they're not needed. So, you're giving up a Sunday morning with your family. You're giving up Sunday morning responsibilities. I think to bring everybody down is a little bit, guys need to know they have a stake in the game. I think that just creating that stake is what's important. All right, boys, we got a lot going on this week. Davo, remind us, what's going on this week? What do we have to stay tuned to?
Tuesday
night, 9 p.m., Greece Park. Mr. Lionhearts goes for their 3rd straight win. Wednesday, power ranking. Thursday, something. Friday, teams. Don't forget to sign up.
And remember to
spay and neuter your pets. We are 3 balls in. Oh wait,
we are now 3 balls out.
Is that not it?
Good, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another episode. Peace out, everyone.
3 balls in, then we 3 balls out. We all up on your screens like it's prime time's route. Mighty gets a score. Oh, and PJ start to scout. Your rhymes really trash. What do you think he's damn foul?